this whole time and then freaking lose my pencil the second we go live. All right, I'm good. All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to Ilderon Tales. This is Group 2, Pride and Prudence, Episode 8. We have JD this session playing Tristan. Whew, I forgot your character's last name, so you're Tristan tonight. Everybody's going to get introduced by their first name. We have Jordan playing Brock, and we have Ramon playing Urkus. Tonight, I will be controlling Elias, and to any people who like viewing Group 2, because for some reason people do, we are currently looking for another player for this session. So if you are interested, you can send me a Facebook message. And also, before we begin the recap tonight, I normally don't endorse stuff, especially if it's like not giving me money. But I did start using this app this week called Habitica, and it's like it gamifies your life. You can put like little tiny to-do things on it, and each day it will like motivate you to get up and do them. And by doing them, you like earn experience and gold and stuff for like your virtual avatar and get to buy cool items. It's like Gaia online for your life. It's crazy like how much stuff I've been getting done with it.
We'll see about that.
I know, right? I just wanted to
Gaia online, I think, stored my life for a little bit in high school.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I just kept posting on it. Like I'd go to threads and just click bump just to get the 5 gold, like every minute or so or whatever that they give it to you.
I was playing the Zoma God game, and I had like some of the best people in my group.
Yeah.
And then life happened, and everybody decided to go their own ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Habitica, it's like you can put exercise in the morning as like a habit I want to make, and then every time you do it, you get like 10 experience and like 2 gold for it. So today I was like, yeah, push-ups, experience, yeah. I got to level 3, so it's awesome. But anyways, just going to leave that up there. We're going to start the recap because last week we did not have HAD. So last week the party finally got to go to Umiya's temple on first day. Jessica and Tristan left the house early to get a good seat for the services. And they were later joined by the rest of the party. Surprisingly, Jessica and Tristan are the only 2 in the party who worship the 4 Ascended. The rest of the party either aligns with the Wills or some other religion. Brock Brooks went about his own investigations for the day, as did Urkus and Career.
Their investigations was
Yeah, Elias convinced Career to go find Brock and not let him be on his own. And eventually they all met up at the Chantry of Concordance, which is the chantry devoted to Gale Song. They were investigating the items on the mysterious note they found from Alshandoris, and found that each of the items listed on the note were an item that was forged in an earthfire. They found out some individual information about each item, or at least some of them, but the ocular of the chantry could be of no further assistance to them. And once Brock had revealed the information he found out about Alshandoris, the ocular said he had a contact that could help Brock track down some more arcane lore about the items, and that his contact would come to the party in the dead of night. Meanwhile, at the temple of Umiya, when the rest of the party got there, they all attempted to talk to the goddess of water after her sermon. Brock thought he was better than all of the commoners and cut the line of hundreds of waiting people. And the goddess whisked him to the bottom of the sea, where he stayed for a couple hours contemplating where his life was going. And once the rest of the party waited their turn in line for their chance to talk to the goddess, She brought Brock up from the bottom of the sea, thankfully still alive and breathing. The party gleaned some information from her. What exactly slips my mind, I will probably remember as we get going, or I'll let you guys discuss it. But with that said, I think that was pretty much everything significant that happened. Of course, leaving the Umia's temple, Career had a couple comments about the goddess. But Jessica and Tristan left well before the rest of the party. We're going to pick up in the dead of night. It is the night of the 21st of Father. Brock, Elias, and Urkus are at the door with a red-headed vampire who just walked inside of your guys' house. Career is waiting upstairs along with Jessica and Tristan. What do you guys want to do? If you like, we can skip to the morning.
Well, we need to like sit down. Actually, let's bring her to the we have like a little mine and Career's room.
Okay, Jordan, you're breaking up on me. Can you do your shenanigans to fix your mic one more time? What were you saying, JD?
I said, do I hear them return?
Yes, it is the middle of the night, and you hear servant shuffling in the in the house. A pair knocked on your door and woke you guys up. You had the option to ignore them. Because you weren't here, I just ruled Tristan went back. Well, didn't go back to sleep, but just didn't choose to get out of his bed.
Okay, well, now that I'm here, can I opt to put on some clothes?
You can.
Go and greet them.
You walk downstairs, and in the parlor outside the dining room, you see the party conversing with a woman wearing a brown cloak. The hood is pulled back. Her wild auburn hair is kind of everywhere. She doesn't look very happy to be here. Her hands are tucked in her pockets.
Okay. Real quick, question about your world. Is this the vampires presented here, the challenge rating 11 as they appear in the monster manual? And also, are they regular vampires like what the lore that I'm familiar with says, or are they different somehow?
You can roll me a history check and or a religion check for Tristan, whichever you like, and I can tell you that. Also, in this world, just for everybody's sake, vampires are all the undead are a race known as Terrai. They are open to you guys if you want to play as them, and we will adjust them to be in line with whatever level you are. But no, they are not straight challenge level 11 like in the book. Okay. They vary up with level. What was that? The result of that roll?
22.
Okay, I just exit out of roll 20. So cool.
10 out of 10.
I know, right? 22. Yep. You do know there are different types of Terrai, but vampires in specifically have no reflection and are affected by forbiddance.
Okay. Would I be able to spot one, recognize one if I saw one?
You know, you also know when a vampire feeds, as all Terrai need to like eat some sort of life force to stay alive. When a vampire feeds specifically, they look very close to human.
Okay.
Nearly hard to tell for at least a month until they've been without food.
Okay.
Or half a month until they've been without food.
Okay. And
of course, these are just things Tristan knows.
okay. And how do the 4 Ascended feel about the Terrai?
Just more things you know. Umiya died as she was transporting them across the ocean to be worker slaves in Galkin. They threw a mutiny and killed her at sea. To which she rose from the sea, showed them mercy, and transported them still safely across the sea.
Into slavery.
That's where history gets very, very blurred and breaks off into many lines. Umiya holds no grudges. So Yessa says, burn them all, kill them all. Without
song.
Gale Song has not been heard of or heard from in the past 700 years, but his last ruling on Terrai was defaulting to Amiya's stance of, well, there's a lot of them now, and they're people, and we need to try and make peace with them.
Okay.
However, you do know Gale Song originally ascended fighting hundreds of thousands of them, like nearly alone.
So a little bit of a muddy
Right.
past with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not standing in the hallway the entire time. What I was trying to say earlier was I wanted to escort them to mine and careers room because we have so that we're out of sight from anybody else who may be watching us.
Okay, how do you say that to Effie?
So we're going to escort you to a little bit more private area so that no one else can, have issues at the moment like we did outside.
Good evening, Brock.
Hey, Tristan's awake.
What you doing, buddy?
Wondering why you have been out all hours of the night, or do I want to know?
You don't want to know.
I assumed as much. And who is this person that you have brought with you?
She's Effie.
Effie nods and says, I can introduce myself. She kind of raises 2 fingers to her eyebrows and salutes a little towards Tristan and says, Effie Freedomfall. I work for the university.
And she's here to help us find some things we need to go inside.
She is inside of your guys' house right now.
I thought we were at the Lord Person's Manor thing, so there's servants and other people around.
Yes, just the late night janitorial staff. But yeah, if you
Janitorial staff at all.
Yeah, if you offer to lead her upstairs, she nods and then sighs and says, yes, I'm used to doing most of my business in secret.
I'll take this moment to ask, what incident, what issues have you been having?
None we haven't already had before.
So more of Brock just putting his foot in his mouth.
No, happened yet. I never put my foot in my mouth.
Roll me a deception check.
Can I automatically succeed on that insight check?
That's not for you because you have reason.
Reasonable doubt.
That's for the NPC traveling with him.
All
I
right.
rolled a 14.
I'll roll my eyes and turn to Effie. Freedom Fall is an interesting surname. Where do you hail from?
She says I gave it to myself. I'm from Ilderon Nagai.
Okay. Can I roll an intelligence check to see if I figure out that she's derived from that information?
You can, but it'd be ridiculously high.
Okay, so that's lack of surname does not signify Terride, correct? I've forgotten a lot about Terride in general.
You
have a book about Terrai.
You do have a book about Terrai.
It is not on my person, though.
Yeah.
It'd be weird to just whip that out in the middle of a conversation. Can you excuse me a moment? Starts drumming just like,
JD, it's also worth noting Effie has made no reason to hide who she is. So if at any moment Tristan pushes on the subject or you get close, trust me, I will tell you.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about it. And you said Urkus and Elias are also here, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're probably just like holding their breath right now, like.
Like, oh god, do we gotta fight?
Everyone's like, what's going on now?
All right. I'll. Can I roll an insight check to see if I can tell that they're nervous?
Are they nervous right now?
You said they're probably holding their breaths.
Yeah, I was just assuming. What's Urkus doing right now, Ramon?
And I think because I have not really much, just trying to figure out, right, what is she here for? What is she going to tell us? I'm just curious.
Okay, you can.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just going to roll an insight check to see if they're trying to hide something from me in general, because Brock seems to be his normal self, but Elias and Urkus are typically have something to say at the very least. Well, Elias does. Shoot, that's a 13 on the insight.
You feel like Elias is normally more friendly and open when talking to him, and you start to inspect him, and his eyes get a little shifty. And I imagine Tristan might say, "What's wrong?" And Elias will just say, "I stubbed my toe earlier today, and it's just been hurting me."
Well, if he's going with that line, he would have to roll a deception check.
He did, and he got a 14.
Dang.
It feels a little odd, but he's also a foreigner.
Fair enough. I'll shake my head and return to my room, muttering, "I can't believe I got out of bed for this."
Effie will follow you guys upstairs.
Wait. Before Tristan returns to his room, I think that he should come with us because I think he needs to hear what Effie has to say. Because although I am flirting with her, and I'll say this out loud, just so make it completely awkward for everyone. Although I completely intend to flirt with her, she is here for an important reason. We think everybody in the party should hear about it.
Effie's gonna make an unarmed attack at Brock. What is your AC? Or actually, you can roll me a opposed acrobatics check or a athletics check to avoid being grappled.
Going to do an acrobatics check.
Okay.
That was a bad roll.
Brock
the fiery
turns.
redhead.
Yeah. Brock turns to make a well-reasoned point to Tristan, and halfway through his speech, he sees a hand whip towards his face with lightning speed, and grab his face and turn it back towards him. And looking Effie eye to eye in like the dark torchlight, she just says to you, "You intend to do what upstairs?"
One, talk about the reason you came here. Two, I find you very beautiful and would like to talk about more later.
As you go on to 2, another fist, or rather her fist, comes towards your face. Brock takes 3 points of lethal damage.
Ain't no shame in my game.
Ouch.
She says to you, that is not his name. Hey, you guys never asked the Ocular for his name.
We never did.
Nope.
Yeah. She says to you, I owe Ataclon a favor. I'll help you with your list, but that's about it.
I mean, by context clues, we'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
Like, since Brock told us he talked with the Ocular, so he's going to send someone. But now we know.
Do I know what an ocular is?
Yes. They are 2 ranks above you in your religion, I believe.
All right, and have I left the room yet or not? Because Brock said,
Brock called towards you and said what he said, and then this happened. It depends on if Tristan left or not.
okay, well, I'm always down for Brock getting hit, so I would be standing here chuckling.
Already, she's good in his books.
Terrai or not.
Otherwise, she tucks her hands back in her pocket and says, "Is there any place else we can talk in private other than his room?"
He and his, are they married yet?
3 days.
3 days. He and his lover, shall we say, have their own.
She wouldn't call us a lover.
Yes, well, I'm unsure what else to call you.
Fiance. Not a lover, though.
Honestly, I think slave and master works a little bit better for your relationship, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose. We do have a room set aside for us here in this manor, though for how long, I'm not sure. Should be enough for the purposes that you're speaking of, though. That are speaking of, I say, pointing at Effie, not at Brock.
Yeah. She nods and says, "Lead the way. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders."
I like to think as much anyway. All right, we wander back to the group's room, right?
Yep.
I believe so.
Yep.
Jessica and Career are not with you guys.
So, fun fact, this turned out for the better for Brock.
Mhm.
You're not out of the woods yet, bucko.
So, as soon as you guys get into the room, Effie crosses her arms and says, "Do you have the list with you?"
Yep, I have it right here. There's also one that I added to the research that I believe is also part of this list. It just wasn't known before.
She
And
extends her hand towards you.
I hand her the.
Okay. There we go. Boom. I had to pull it up myself. Effie begins to read over the list, and then her eyes go wide for a second, and she looks up at you, crunching the list in her fists, and she says, "Why is Kyrian on here?"
Well, because it was an item for, and other than that fact, and the fact that it has super magical powers, I don't know what it.
You don't know what?
I don't know why it's on here, other than the fact there's an earth fire source of magical power. It's the one that everybody seems to point out to. Like, can I just take a brief moment to say that Kyrian? Like, I already know where it's at. And I already know this. Apparently, one of the most guarded things that we shouldn't have to worry about it.
You say that exactly to Effie?
Yeah.
With a pleading look, she cuts you off halfway through your statement and says, "Where? Where is it at?"
Doesn't everybody know this? It's in the school for mages. By the headmistress or whatever has it around her neck.
Effie curses under her breath and says, "Useless. She's been missing for a month."
Well, did not know that.
She nods and says, "It's why I'm here, and Arter is searching for her."
Wait, you think she's in Arter?
Effie shrugs and says, "I don't know where she is. She goes nowhere without telling me. I'm her greatest apprentice."
Wait, you're her apprentice?
She looks around side to side and then says, "Yes. Who else could match her in skill other than someone else who could live for eternity?"
That makes sense.
Y'all can live for eternity? I'm just learning a whole bunch of new stuff.
She says, "As long as I'm fed."
So, well, we know that one of the Earthfire weapons is now missing. Lost. Except for the Torch of Karog, which is also apparently in a museum heavily guarded.
She nods and says, "And who had this information? The Ocular only told me you needed help tracking down some arcane items."
Wait, which information? The torch or
the list?
Oh, that came from Alshendor's room.
As you say that, her head turns and she kind of looks towards the door, saying nothing.
Perception check to see if there's somebody outside the door.
You can, but inside of 5 will tell you that she kind of knows this manor belongs to him. The direction she looked was towards his room.
Okay.
That came from Alshendor's room. That one right over there.
Right down the hall.
Right down the hall to the left.
Mhm.
In the desk in the secret drawer.
Can I roll an insight check to see if it seems like she's more familiar with Doris than she's letting on?
You can.
Well, that's a 9.
She seems concerned. I don't think you'd be able to read familiarity block from it. Familiarness. There we go. Make up my
Do
own
you
word.
know?
Familiarity was correct.
All right. So I'm gonna talk to her. Do you have you met with Alcindorus before?
She will shake her head and she'll say no, but I had reasons to suspect him.
What reasons would that suspect him of? What, the disappearance of the mistress, or the headmistress? I really don't remember her title from this. What her title is at the school. I'm just assuming headmistress.
She says you can address her as Dila, Winrona, or the world's hero. Either three names are all hers.
Okay.
But she continues and says, I did not know who Elshin was, but a member of the four, or rather a member of his chantry, who I now believe was him, did come to me seeking information while I was in town nearly a week ago.
What information were they seeking?
Hey, let's see if he wrote it down. She says it doesn't pertain to your guys' list of items. A lot of the things Dila has me handle, she chooses me because those topics should remain in secrecy.
Do you think there might be a reason for her to go into hiding herself, leaving you?
She says, I know every single detail, the most intimate and the most mundane of her life and her daily schedule. I don't know why she would leave me, but once again, she has nothing to do with Alcindorus. He just seemed like a shady character to me.
He seems to have something to do with her. She's on his list. And now she's missing. And so is he.
She nods and says, yes, but she was missing far before he was. But I guess it does warrant looking into.
Well, aside from the Kyrian, is there anything else on this list that you recognize?
I am going to roll a history check for her for each item on the list. Oof.
Can't tell that's a good oof or not.
Doesn't sound like a good dude.
Let's say on every item you guys know about, she rolled high. And the ones you guys don't know about, she didn't do so well.
Oh, good.
She goes down each item of the list and she points at them and she says each one of these are arcane in their lore, hard to track down. Very few living people know about their origins, but Nonetheless, each one of them appear in the
Appear in the what?
You got cut off.
You cut off just then. You're not saying anything to us.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Brandon.
Gone.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Now we can. Yeah.
Okay, I switched back to the other mic. Anyways, the statement I believe she got cut off on, she says each one of these items appears in the texts of history at different points in time. Although be it sometimes briefly. At various points I've seen these names mentioned before. She points to Ryren and says, this one I haven't. It can't be older than 50 years.
Like, Rylan's a recently made Earthfire weapon. You have any idea on the whereabouts of these, aside from the Kieran that's missing and the torch that we know where we know is at?
She points to Salcris and says, Salcris is fine. It's lost forever in the Galkan Desert.
The Salcris is lost in the Galkan Desert.
She nods.
So is there Ursamani.
And she points to Kronax and says, this one was lost on Betrayer's Isle.
Betrayer's Isle or Trader's Isle?
Betrayer's Isle. Trader's Isle. I lost it in a gambling debt. It's only like an immortal artifact or whatever. Whatever.
It was worth 50 gold, I believe. All right. Well, the way I see it with this information, we have two choices. We can go ensure that the Torch of Karrog is safe by going to the museum in which it is being on display and secured at, or we can go to the Galkan Desert. And
Effie shakes the list in her hand, which is mostly crumbled at this point, and like kind of furls her eyebrows together and says, you don't think it's a good idea to find the man who made this list? Maybe find out why he was compiling it?
Well, he is. And I'm pretty sure if we go to where these items on the list are, we'll meet up with the people who are looking for him. If we get the items first, then they'll probably come looking for us.
Oof, you broke up on me, Jordan. If we get the items first, then we'll probably...
They will come looking for us. Can you hear me?
Probably a bunch of other people too.
Yeah. She nods as you make your points and say, well, if the sage was here in Arter Sarai and the people looking for him looking for these items were also here and took him, does it not stand to reason that one of them are here under our noses?
Do you have a lead or an idea of where to look? Because we've looked all over Arter Sarai for leads, and all of those have ended in failure.
She kind of laughs a short, haughty laugh and says, this is what I specialize in. She'll just, she gestures lazily with her hand and says, you mortals enjoy your Rest. I work in the night. I'll see you in the morning.
Can I have that list back before you go? Before it gets crumbled even more?
She looks at it, not even realizing that she did crumble it, and say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she hands it back to you.
So just add a character. Before she goes, I think that Elias will want to go tail her or go with her, since he's a rogue. He would have very good
He
hunting
would,
skills as well.
but at this hour, he'd be. If he did try and follow her all throughout the night, he'd be start suffering from exhaustion. And Elias feels more like sleeping.
All right. Well, I guess I have no other reason. Okay. Before you leave, one night, find some information. After that, I think we just need to go for the other items and make ourselves targets if we want to get ahead of the game. Before those items are also picked off, and we more.
Okay. She doesn't say anything. Does anybody else want to say anything before we end the night?
I guess we'll see her in the morning. We'll see you in the morning. That's what I'll say to her.
JD, if you're trying to talk, your microphone is muted, by the way.
No, not trying to talk.
Okay, just making sure. All right, so it is now the 22nd of Father.
Woo!
Whoa.
Give me 1 second, because I actually don't have out any percentage die, because I'm a crazy man. There we go. Career is actually snuggled up next to Brock when he wakes up. There are no chains or ropes. You could call it progress. Otherwise, everybody else wakes up and it is a normal winter day.
I'm going to call this progress. Shake Career awake and goes, "It's time to get up. Time to start the day. I'm going to go to the bathhouse."
She smacks her lips and stretches before just nodding and saying, okay.
Question: does that short rest that I guess we got heal up my my hit points?
So this is how I'm handling resting in 5th edition. The rules are very vague on it. But 5th edition states when you take a long rest, you instantly regain half of your spent hit dice. Or no, you instantly regain half of your hit dice in total. And then it also states whenever you take a long rest, you can be doing other activities as long as they're not strenuous or like requiring your focus or attention. Then it also says when you take a short rest, which is an hour long, you can spend as many hit dice as you'd like. And for every hit die you spend, you can roll and gain the hit die plus your constitution modifier as HP. So for every long rest you take, because you'll instantly complete a short rest taking a long rest, you can regain up to half of your hit dice of HP for free.
Okay.
It's not always going to full heal you, but that's how I'm going to handle it, unless, you guys have objections you want to voice.
All right. Well, since she came in the middle of the night and I got hit in the middle of the night, is that a long rest or a short rest?
You'd be able to get a short rest. Or you'd be able to get a
Right,
long
sorry.
rest. You'd get a long rest.
My hit dice added to back.
Yeah. I mean, you only took 3 HP, so
Yeah.
you'd have enough to heal.
Yeah.
Because it's like 2 hit dice and your Constitution modifier.
Half my hit die. If my hit die is 8, half that's 4 plus 1 is 5.
Yeah.
I had taken 3, so they hit me back.
Yeah. So, what it is the morning? What is everybody doing?
I'm gonna take care of my morning prayer to Galsong.
Okay.
And as I stated before, I went to the showers again after waking up career.
Okay. What's Urkus doing?
Well, I'll go with brought to the showers. Might as fucking well. Not for the same reasons.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was actually going to roll a percentage die to see if career tells you to go to the showers and protect Brock. Of just like, hey, you work for me, right? Go make sure my husband doesn't die. You know?
Like, I
How when I die?
I'm not a miracle worker, but I'll try.
Yeah. Urkus and Brock are able to take a pretty nice no homo shower. Tristan is able to go about his morning prayer. As he does, Jessica comes and kneels next to him, saying nothing and bowing her head. Does Tristan say anything, or does he just go about his normal ritual?
You're
I'll
muted
begin
again, JD.
praying aloud for the both of us. But other than that, I don't change what I do.
Okay. Yeah. After you guys are done praying, she nods and says, there was a visitor last night. Who was it?
It's just somebody from the chantry.
Does Tristan... Well, I guess it's not technically a deception.
It's not. It's a true statement.
Yeah.
He was from the chantry.
Jessica would just nod to that and say, I hope we find the sage soon. I don't know what's going to happen to the city if the good he was doing to help out the poor doesn't return soon.
I too hope we find him quickly. But before we can get to that, the matter of breakfast is at hand. Shall we?
She nods, and in her normal stiffened tone, she puts her hands behind her back and follows you in a very rigid stance.
Okay.
Do Tristan and, or not Tristan, Brock and Urkus join Tristan and Jessica for breakfast?
Well, if there were no encounters in the bathhouses, I guess so.
There were not this time.
Darn.
Last time on your way there, you got kidnapped, but this time you're good.
And the time before that, I met what's her name?
Makana.
I mean, we always have interesting trips to the bathhouse.
Yeah. Who no campaign has heard from in a few days.
I know. It's very upsetting.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about other campaigns.
Yeah, you guys put her right in the middle of Group 3's campaign. So that's going to be fun. Definitely tune in for their next session. They're in the middle of a boss fight right now.
So I guess we all go to breakfast hall.
Okay.
And do we see Jessica and Tristan?
Yes, they are there eating breakfast. Along with Courier.
And I guess we go join them.
Okay. Elias stumbles down a little bit later and joins you guys eating breakfast. Do you guys want to have any conversation amongst yourselves?
What we should be planning to do today, considering we're waiting. All we had now is to wait on news. If there are any,
You broke up pretty bad.
I'm always breaking up. I just said
Maybe if
I want to
you
know what everybody else plans to do because we have nothing to do but wait.
all right. Anybody want to respond to him? Is Ramon saying something or
I was muted.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just saw Ramon smiling and moving his lips. I was like, is that a fake blowjob or what?
No. I was saying. Oh, camera down. I was saying that as I'm hired by career, whatever she's going, I'll have to go.
Career puts down her fork and just kind of like snaps her fingers and points at Urkus and says, "See, that's a good bodyguard. That's a good bodyguard. If I could afford it, I would have paid you double what I did."
Don't let double next time.
Kind of broke up there.
I'm getting.
Yeah, I think Jordan said, "Don't laugh, pay double next time."
Can y'all hear me without my headphones through the computer mic?
I heard.
I-
Can you guys hear me without my headphones? And then you said something, and then I heard nothing.
I heard computer mic at the end.
Yeah, it's like if you're on a computer, try connecting via Ethernet or something.
All right. I don't know what it is with my headphones today. Now?
It's still a little bit wonky. Maybe
Right.
if you talk slower, it might help a little bit.
I am going to go grab my roommate's headphones, so just give me a moment.
Okay. Also, try turning off your video feed because it sounds like a latency thing.
All right.
See if that might help a little bit.
Does this make it any better?
Just talk a whole bunch.
Talk.
Oh, you cut out. Never mind.
Talkie.
You went out there for a sec.
Yeah, change headphones. But yeah, Career says, or she pats the food from around her mouth with the napkin, and says, "Oh, I have contracts with the Chantry of Concordance now. Hopefully that will get a little gold flowing in my pocket, and you can be sure your next paycheck will be larger."
Oh, yeah, I do. They're
Alright,
like
thank you.
taking that little basket thingy where a bunch of the trash is. I really got to sit down and tackle this area. Okay.
Yeah. So I already rolled.
Well, those don't have a mic. Actually, neither do.
Are you sure? Because mine, although it looks as if it doesn't have a mic, only has a mic.
Those don't. Supposed
Wonder
to,
if I
but they
should
don't.
mute
They only don't.
Jordan.
I'm
Yeah,
muted.
there we go. Yeah, he's gonna come back and start talking. It's like, "Oh, guys, I'm muted. What?" I'm not even gonna know when he gets back to inform him that he's muted. So we're just gonna go through like an hour of RP, just pleasant RP, without me just saying like, "Would this
I resemble
NPC
that
punch
remark,
him?"
Brandon.
Wait, what's up?
I said I resemble that remark, Brandon.
Okay, is it working now?
Yeah, that's
Seems
a
to
little better.
We'll try it with these.
We'll
to the
send.
Force ended, don't you know?
All right. So,
Mostly just waiting for something to be relevant to Tristan.
All
Okay.
right. So, did y'all get any part of that last part of my conversation?
you can repeat it.
All right. So what I was saying was that don't tell him that, or else he might ask for more later.
What? Come on. Do I look like I would do that?
Yes.
I
It's
have
always
no
the
comment
quiet
on
ones. It's always the quiet ones.
Yeah. She already said she was going to pay Tristan, or rather, Urkus more money. So right now she's just kind of red in the face, like, oh.
All right. So did we come up with an idea of what to do today?
I don't think one was discussed.
I turned to Jessica and asked her, does she have anything she wants to do today?
She looks up at you and says, my family's supposed to serve the chantries of the Four. Every second longer we go without finding the sage, I feel like I'm a failure to my title.
Well, walking around town asking questions doesn't seem like the best course of action.
She says there was the journal.
Yes, and we already followed all the leads in the journal, didn't we? Oh wait, no, we didn't. We could totally go look for those people who I can never remember the name, the evil organization that he was working for.
The evil organization. I love it.
It's mispronounced, and I can't even remember how I was mispronouncing it.
They are. The journal refers to them as the silver, or as only denoting themselves with a silver sigil.
Oh yeah, the Silver Seagal. You need to look for the Silver Seagulls.
Sharknado. I feel like I kind of feel the same way as Ramon there. Like every time that happens, I'm just Peter Griffin with the bike. I'm just. I can think of a really cool shadow organization player, Steven Seagal. But yeah, Jessica mentions the journal.
That is something we haven't done because everybody keeps on telling me not to. How about we go ask around about the Silver Sigil?
I gotta just look what information's on there, and if Career and Jessica would know anything about it. Yeah. You say that, and no ominous thunder sounds in the background.
Huh. I always thought there was ominous thunder surrounding that word. So, any other suggestions? I'm gonna go look for another ground society that will probably get us killed and or kidnapped.
Career is like kind of resting her head on her fist and says, you know, you really don't have a lot of good ideas.
I'm the only one with ideas, though.
She just nods and says, I am waiting oh so patiently until the fourth day.
Got a few days left.
She taps you on your shoulder encouragingly and says, you go get them. Just don't get yourself killed in the process.
Cannot guarantee my own safety.
She looks at Urkus and says, but you can, right?
I'll do my best.
She says there's 39 more gold on your contract. You better.
Obviously.
So, would you like to come with us, Jessica?
Jessica stands expressionless and says, "Yes, I've always been told I'm the friendliest of my family. I'd be good at something like this."
Are you making a joke or serious?
She, for a minute,
Like,
looks. For a very brief second, her expressionlessness fades, and she looks offended before she kind of snaps back into her stance of just waiting for an order and says, do you not think I'm friendly?"
I was just wondering if that was a joke, because like, is your entire family really stole?
She says, "Apparently you don't spend much time around fire spawn."
Definitely a rare occasion.
They don't say much.
Well, I'm glad I met you as my first fire spawn.
She nods. There is a knock on your guys' door. Of course, as it is not your guys' door, the servants attend to it.
I look over to see who was at the door.
As you know, the dining hall is kind of fancy and meant for meetings. You can't exactly see to the door from here, as it is around the corner into like a parlor, like meant for welcoming guests.
Okay. My curiosity has been piqued, so I get up from the table to go see who's at the door real quick by peeking around the corner.
Hey, it's a person in a brown cloak. The woman is arguing with the servant. She says, just invite me in. And they're saying, we have to go get what is old dude's name? It's on here. Steward of this house's name, Jayek. There we go.
All right. Do I recognize the voice from where I'm at?
Yes, you also recognize the cloak as belonging to Effie.
Then I shall shout down the hallway. She is with us. You can let her in.
He looks back at you and then back to the woman and says, "Please, madam, come in." She walks inside. Immediately as she does, she lowers the hood. Walking into the dining room, she looks pretty beat up, and she yawns as she walks in.
Had a rough night, Effie?
She kind of pops a few of her shoulders and joints and says, "I had a productive one. Discovered a lot of information."
Well, that's good, because we're not getting anywhere this morning.
She says, your sage wasn't the only person looking for earthfire weapons.
Well, why don't we take this into a more private room rather than this dining room area, and we'll bring the rest of the gang with us.
She looks around and says, "Staying in a house that you don't trust?"
but I'm probably the brightest out of the group.
What did you say before I'm the brightest out of the group?
I'm not the brightest person, but I'm probably the brightest out of the group.
I scoff louder.
She shrugs and this time heads up towards the party's room, not waiting for you guys to lead her.
I motion for the rest of the people at the table to come on up.
Does everybody enter the room with her?
Yeah.
All right. Upstairs.
I was talking. I was on mute.
Reported.
I tell Career to excuse me for a moment. I have to meet with the rest.
Well, I wasn't excluding Career or Jessica.
No, but they were there. They're not involved in this.
Excluding them. I wasn't excluding them. I was inviting them with us, like everybody at the table. See,
Oh,
including the NPCs.
All right. So, hesitantly, Career would follow. And of course, Jessica would follow, not saying a word. Once the party gets into the room, which is uncomfortably cramped with the 7 of you in it, Effie closes the door and says, so your sage wasn't the only one looking for Earthfire weapons. I asked. Oh, go ahead.
Well, that's good to know. I will also make a note that next time we're going to need a bigger room.
Yeah. She says, I asked around. There were people also looking for some of the items on the list. One specifically, a couple of my contacts had heard the name Ryren before. No Rye woman, 20 years asked about it.
What kind of people are looking for it?
She gestures to a bruise on her face and says, ones that take pride in being hard to find.
All right. Why Ryren out of all of them? That's one of the ones we know the least about.
She shrugs and says, I don't know, it took a lot just to get that information. However, I believe both Sage Alshin and whoever kidnapped him thought it was somewhere close.
Did you find how to word it? Did you figure out where these people are, where their hideout might be, and where they might be keeping people?
She nods and says, I know where one is, but don't think it's the one who has your sage.
Well, what's in this hideout?
She looks to Tristan. Is Tristan wearing a holy symbol?
Yes. Gelsong's holy symbol. It's also on his shield, although I don't think I'm carrying that right now.
Yeah, she says, your friend isn't going to like it very much. It's a den of assassins.
That does pose some problems.
What kind of assassins?
Effie tilts her head and says, are there kinds?
Well, I mean, what group of assassins did you? Is there a name for them?
She shakes her head and says, "Low life, terror wretches, working for whatever coin they can get. Contract killers."
Well, we know somebody who has been able to make friends with contracts, don't we? As I make a snide remark to his career. I'm still a little salty over the whole kidnapping.
Career looks at you and begins to blush and said, "I would never do business with a Terrai." As she says that, Effie, you imagine if she was making a sound right now, she'd be snarling with her facial expression.
All right, ladies, can we calm down a little bit? Mean it. Not all Terrais are evil.
Career points to Effie and says, "Wait, is she a..." Career's very tan skin goes pale.
I really hope
Effie-
Career's sitting down.
No, she's standing.
All right, so I think you're going to need to sit down for a minute, and there's going to be some explaining to do.
As you try and calm her down, Effie says "boo," and Career just kind of looks about the room and says, "If you'd excuse me, I have matters that need attending to."
I think it's best if we face this head on. Trying to avoid the issue, might as well resolve it.
Roll me a persuasion check. I'm going to roll a percentage die for how frightened she is right now.
I rolled a 15. I wish I had a freaking inspiration because I wrote a 22 on the other side of it.
She kind of snaps away as you try and grab her and stop her. And she says, "Brock, look, I think this will work best if we have boundaries and I respect yours and you respect mine." She looks at Effie and then says, "I'm sorry, but I'm not okay with this. And you find the sage. I'll talk to you later." And she moves to walk out of the door.
Choices.
That was not supposed to be one of the hard RP choices tonight. I apologize, but it happened.
I will let her walk out the door and fix that issue after I fix the issue in the room, which is the snarling Effie that's right here.
As she walks out, Effie only says, "I'm used to it."
But your reactions didn't help either.
She says after 300 years, you get tired of being nice to people.
And I just sit down with an exasperated sigh. So anyways, there's a group of not so good Terrai assassins in the city. From this,
she nods and says, "I can tell you where to find them, or you can wait for me tonight to go after them, or tomorrow."
quick question: can you only travel at night?
She shakes her head and says, "No, but the business I handle, it's best for me to be nocturnal."
Group of assassins. Do they also only do their work at night, or excuse me, are they less guarded during the day? Could you tell?
She shrugs and says, "They're just a bunch of common thugs. I think you guys should be able to take care of it, unless you want big strong Effie behind you to help you out."
Well, we have big strong Jessica right here. She's practically carrying this party. As I pat Jessica on the back.
Jessica nods and says, "My instructors have said, have often complimented my combat prowess as acceptable."
I think they're exceptional.
Effie says, "Well, in either case, they are." I don't have your guys' part of town pulled up. It is in a sheet. Hey, there we go. Ardor. She says they are located in they're located in the forge ring of the city proper. You'll see a group of blacksmiths, all of them working on swords and the like. However, one of them will always be crafting a horseshoe. Look for that one. Say you have somebody you want to kill, you need killed, and what can they do for you? And you'll gain access to their contractor.
And the contractor lead us to the hideout?
She shrugs and says he'll know where it is. Once you meet the contractor, threaten him, beat him up, do whatever it takes to find them.
Well, I have no problem with this.
Effie begins to lay down in the bed in the room and says, "Well, once you guys handle that issue, just try and bring one of them back alive to me. I would have did it myself, but my night was rather long."
All right. Well, today, guys, more than we were doing this morning. Anybody have any objections to go?
Kind of broke up there at the last second.
Anybody have any objections to going on an assassin hunt?
Not necessarily.
So Ericus is good. Then is Tristan here?
He might be shoving things in his butt.
It's always a good day to kill some assassins.
Okay, kill all of them. Just
Most of them.
most. I hate to lose the lead we just got.
Yeah, you guys did pretty well last time with the lead you got.
Yeah, where they ended up having to run. The lead ran away.
All right. So you guys head to the city proper?
I asked Brock, "Are you going to take care of the issue with God damn it. I forgot her name all of a sudden.
Career.
Career. Probably handle that before we go. Effie stays in her room for the time being. I'll let Career stay in her room for the time being. They'll be in timeout. They can be until they learn to be nice with each other. I will like to talk to Career before we leave, though.
Okay. You find her downstairs in the dining room, reading over a stack of vellum.
Hey, Career. You've had some time to cool down and
I'm sorry, Papyrus.
take it all in. That does not change my statement any.
She looks at you and says, I'm not angry at you.
Well, I know you're not angry. I didn't think you're angry. Saw that you were scared and that you were worried. And I really would like you to be able to get along with the people we meet.
She says, oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me as somebody with a soul for being worried around a soul-sucking monster.
Well, this soul-sucking monster also apparently attended the same school that you used to. And the
Career says, I
forgetting.
never attended the university.
You attended there.
I don't think I ever said Effie, or rather Career attended the university.
You said that isn't that where she learned her magic from?
She is a sorcerer.
Because that's how I knew about it. That's how I knew about because she attended the school.
She may have said she tried. But Career's ability or control over magic is more instinctual than it is learned.
Well, she's attended a prestigious school that you had once attempted to go to. She's, not anyway, and she means no harm.
She'll Career will just nod and say, just keep an eye on her. Tara, I have been responsible for almost every major tragedy in the past 1,000 years.
There's an almost in there. We've also responsible for tragedies within the past 1,000 years.
And she says, yes, but when you get hungry, your hunger doesn't dominate your mind.
That's not true. Oh, excuse me. Hunger, no. I do have a few other things that when it gets to around a certain point starts dominating my mind.
We couldn't tell. I'm assuming that they're speaking alone and I'm not actually there, yes?
Yeah, you're not there.
They are in the dining room.
Yeah, I'd still be in the other room.
Yeah. She says to you, fine, if you want to defend her, you can defend her. Do what you want with your soul, and I will do what I want with mine. She puts her hands up in the air and she says, we made an agreement, no collars. No chains.
I'm really starting to hate how stubborn this person.
If you talk to more members of the Wills, you'd be surprised how many of them share the same viewpoint.
Why can't everybody just have an open mind? Jeez.
Some do,
All right.
some don't.
All right. Well, she's going to be staying here for the day because she exhausted herself last night and she's on the verge of collapsing from exhaustion. So she's going to be in the guys' room. Just stay in your room, out of the way. Everything will be okay.
Career nods and says, "Oh, I plan on it. I plan on avoiding her with every possible fiber of my being."
All right. I guess I will take her word on it and then go back to the room, grab my stuff, and get ready to head out.
Okay. What's the rest of the party doing?
I will have gotten my stuff prepared and head down. I'm gonna assume at this point Brock is probably heading back up, or is he? Or yeah, I guess Brock is heading back up, so I'll go down and inform Krier that for the day I'll be joining the rest of the party to take care of something.
She nods and says, "Yes, just make sure that idiot doesn't get himself killed.
Will
Not
do.
at least until 4th day."
Will do. And
I wonder whether she really means that or not.
Will do. And I assume Brock's already talked to you about this, but Elfie will be staying in our room for the day. I understand you're afraid of her, so just avoid her when you can.
Career says, "If I can, I'll lock the door. Though I doubt it'll do much to keep her in there."
She doesn't seem to be that dangerous, but I can understand we all have our fears. Especially considering what she is.
Very quietly, Career looks around and then leans in towards you and says, "When's the last time she's eaten?"
All right, just out of character. So the Terrai, they look more human after they've eaten, right?
Different ones look different. Vampires do.
Okay, so vampires look more human after they've eaten, and at this point, she still looks human.
She does.
Okay. What can I roll to, like, if I know that or not? It'd be history?
Yeah, you can roll history, or religion. Yeah, I don't think it would be anything to do with nature. If you can convince me a way where it might be nature, I'll allow you to roll nature.
I have no idea how you can convince you. So, I'll roll what we've got. I got a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, from what you know about Terrai,
This is very little.
I mean, you wouldn't have known she was Terrai unless she told you.
Yeah.
She did tell us.
Yeah,
she did
that's
tell
what I'm
us.
saying. She told you.
All right, I'll tell her. I'll tell her. Well, I don't know much about Terrai. She looks fine at the moment, but can't be too sure. Things look dangerous. Just get out of there.
Career bites her bottom lip and kind of looks up the stairs and just nods.
Way to scare her.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, if anything, she'd probably thank Urkus and say, "All right, thank you for the warning. I'll be on my guard."
I'll nod and wait for the others.
What's Tristan doing?
You said Effie
Effie has taken over your guys' bed.
Okay.
A bed that was large enough for 3 people to sleep on. 2 comfortably, 3 cramp. She is all over it.
Okay. I would like to approach them and say, so, shall we discuss your eating habits?
Effie looks up at you and says, I don't feed randomly. On those my mistress needs killed, she instead allows me to partake of.
Real quick player question. We know that her mistress is the whatever that word was that you used. Right?
Dila Winrona? She is on the wiki, I believe. She is in charge of the Mathis University. That is knowledge you guys have already uncovered.
Okay. Do we know if she worships the Four Ascended?
If she worships anything?
The Four Ascended specifically.
You don't know that. You can roll me a history check.
Oh, good. I have a 0 in history.
Hey, believe in the luck of the die.
15.
You know that she is a Dorai. She's an Alil Dorai. She's a high elf, actually. And she also lives in Alil Nagai. If that tells you anything about her religious incline or leanings, or religious inclinations.
Okay. Can I proceed with another history check about what people's religious leanings of the Illuminati are?
Yes, you don't need a history check for that one. You would know right off the bat that people in Alil Nagai believe in the wills. The wills of Alilia.
Right. Okay. And I suppose then I shall say, and your mistress, she.
Ooh, JD, you got a lot of static right there. Could you say that again?
Your mistress, she is opposed by wicked ones, yes?
Effie looks up from the bed at you and nods and says she's tried hard to forge peace between the mortal races.
An admirable goal. Very well. I shall leave you to your rest, of course. Good day. Peace and Ivy.
All right.
I'd like to join the rest of us down to dinner.
Okay. Tristan joins the rest of the party.
I would like to turn to career and say, as is the will of the Four Ascended, we must coexist with all those that walk among us. For without coexistence, there can be no existence. And with that, I walk outside.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
I mean, it wasn't intended to be particularly persuasive, and I got an 18.
Okay.
High on the checks that don't matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just caused Career to consider some things. All right. You guys head to the city proper? That was a question. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yep.
All right, you guys get to the forge ring. I don't believe you guys have been here before.
Nope.
This area of town is heavy with smoke rising into the air. There are many different blacksmiths displaying their craft. Some of which are forging swords. Others are forging large round objects, and groups of people are crowding around them to watch. Almost as if this is a sport or art of sorts. This wide ring encompasses is maybe 60 yards in diameter, or 60 yards in radius. With most of the main permanent forges being set up around the edges of it, and different groups of people moving through the middle, with vendors and other things in the middle, selling metal trinkets.
All right. I believe we were told to look for the one selling a whole bunch of swords, and then the one guy selling a horseshoe or making horseshoes in the middle of them.
Okay. You want to just look around for that, or you want to roll a gather information or a perception?
I was thinking of just taking my passive perception to look around for it.
Okay, let me look at your passive perception. Oh, fudge. Brock starts looking around, and as he does, he turns and sees Jessica already pointing, and she is pointing to an area where five blacksmiths seem to be working in succession of each other, each taking different whacks at a single anvil. As one hammer moves out the way, another one's hammer comes down. Next to them, there is a smaller, shrimpier blacksmith meticulously pounding away at what seems to be an intricate little horseshoe.
I think she found it.
Good job, Jessica.
I think she has the observant feat and is trained in perception and has a decent wisdom.
I pat her on the head and say, "Good job. That is awesome." And then I head over to the one making a horseshoe.
Okay. A few people gather around the five blacksmiths, all just kind of railing their hammers into this one large greatsword. But the blacksmith forging the horseshoe doesn't seem to have a crowd at all around them. They look up at you and just wipe the sweat from their brows. There's no awning over here to guard them from the sun. And they say, "Come for a charm?"
Wait, the five guys or the one guy with the horseshoe?
The one guy with the horseshoe.
I reply, came here to, well, I guess you can call it a charm. And I whisper to kill someone.
The blacksmith says in order to do that, you need a name first.
How difficult, or how, I got a name. It might be kind of high.
The blacksmith puts down his hammer and begins to look at Brock. Roll me a wisdom save.
Wisdom.
Meanwhile, in the background, walks into eternity.
Say
All right.
12.
The man raises his hand to his chin and says, I don't think you want to kill anyone at all. You're looking for something. I can't help you. He begins to gather up the things at his forge.
Tristan begins to facepalm, and Shooting Star starts to play in the background.
He has not left yet.
I'm really trying out the metagame, guys. If someone want to jump in here.
Hey, look, man.
Actually,
I've got high
give me a second.
wisdom,
Give me a
but I
second.
love
Give me a
your
second.
wisdom. I
Give
don't
me a
always know
second.
what to say, but I know what not to say.
Give me a second. I have an idea.
Urkus can roll me a insight check for free.
Okay. Where's that?
Never mind. I just failed. What the?
I got a 14.
Just with a 14, Brock didn't seem to say much, but this guy jumped to some right conclusions pretty quickly.
Okay, so it's like he was expecting us to come.
Well, I am. Crap. What's the best course of action? I
And
am
have
going
Elias
to
try to talk to him.
I'm going to walk away. As I pass by the group, I'm going to whisper, "Don't follow me, but don't let that man go."
The man is walking away in the opposite direction.
I suppose we follow him.
Can I have Elias tail him?
Okay. Well, I think the whole party's going to.
We run stealth checks.
Nope, I'm just rolling a... Well, you guys, yeah, can roll me a stealth check if you don't want to be noticed by him.
Did I take time to put on my my combat gear? Or am I out here
I assume you would have, as Effie told you exactly how to get in contact with these guys.
Okay. All right then. And I roll stealth with disadvantage.
I rolled a 22 on my stealth.
All right.
I got a 9.
Well, based on what I'm looking at here, you can't possibly do worse than me. Holy shit! With disadvantage, I got a 16 with negative modifier in it.
Remote has a +6 modifier.
I have a plus
It's a
6.
9. And this other one's a 7.
That is a horrible luck. The gods of dice are not with me today.
You guys follow this guy for a little bit. He leaves the forge ring onto the streets, and as he does, he kind of twirls around back and forth, almost walking in a circle in the last little bit of crowd, watching one of the outside less experienced forge crafters craft a metal object. Roll me a perception check to keep your eyes on him.
I rolled a 20.
16.
Man, this is bad perception.
Let's go,
I got a
Urkus.
19.
So you all managed to keep keep your eyes on him as he just kind of seems to be moving aimlessly in this crowd. And you don't, at first, it's really weird. He kind of bumps shoulders with the person. And in that brief exchange, his whole face kind of melts and reforms. You're sure that your eyes stayed on the same person, but he looks entirely different as he steps out of the crowd.
Well, good to know he has this guy's person. A spell.
He keeps walking.
I guess we will follow him.
Okay.
I won't keep following him. I know it's a bad idea, but shit, I'm already on it.
Yeah.
I'm not wise.
When have we ever been?
Well, I mean, speaking as the character with 19 wisdom, I've been wise pretty much this whole time.
Speaking as the guy with 10 wisdom, I have not been wise, and I'm going to continue following this guy.
I have 16 wisdom. I'm okay.
He walks across the street into a house that some younger apprentices are hauling metal from in barrels. He goes inside.
I say we follow in after him. I follow inside after him.
I'll follow too. I have to keep him safe.
I will follow, but I will stay as close to the door as possible.
Okay. How long do you guys give between the man walking in and you guys walking in behind him?
I give him no second thought. I don't want to lose sight of the guy.
Okay, so you just instantly burst in there?
No. Like I follow in almost immediately after him. Like,
Okay.
The door may shut for like half a second.
Roll me another stealth check with disadvantage.
I'm gonna give him a solid 6 seconds.
Okay.
Of delay.
I'm gonna follow a second after Brock.
Yeah. Roll me another stealth check with disadvantage for Urgus.
Yep.
I rolled a 1.
And then Urkus rolls double 24.
Hashtag what disadvantage?
I had a big disadvantage. I went from 20 to 4.
So you go in, burst the door open. I'm here.
I trip, fall through the door and go, okay. I'm okay, guys. All's good.
Just kicks the
Don't
door.
worry.
Let's keep the door open. I'm stealthy.
I am following you.
You don't see me.
Yeah, walking inside, Brock makes quite a scene tripping in. The man is already talking to someone behind the counter. He turns around and looks at Brock and says, curious, aren't we?
A little.
Unfortunately.
Make me another wisdom save.
Can we
Just
not
rock
use my
or-
word stat? A 10.
A 10?
A 10.
Should I do it too, or is it just Brock?
It
I'm
is.
pretty-
Yeah, it's just Brock.
All right.
Hold on, let me read. Do.
I'm glad Urkus is here because he's going to get his money's worth today.
The man says to Brock, really, I cannot help you in what you seek.
How do you know what I'm looking for?
He gestures almost excessively and says, "It's painted all over your face."
Strange. I took a shower this morning. Shouldn't be anything on my face.
Face palming.
I'm not going to let this beat me. I'm just going to play through.
Use your charisma. Just rely on your charisma.
Um,
I'm devilishly good looks.
Urkus, the man seems odd as he's conversing with Brock. The rest of the party would come in at this time. You can roll me a insight check for free.
Okay. Got a 9.
A 9. I'm just wondering how this would work.
I don't know anything.
Yeah. So as you're watching him, he's kind of conversing back and forth with Brock, and while Brock seems to be nodding along to his statements, they seem just a tiny bit off to Urkus.
Hey, real quick, has Tristan walked in the door yet?
Yes, the rest of the party would have walked in by now.
Okay. I, as a player, have a sneaking suspicion about what this creature may or may not be. But as a character, what would be the appropriate check to roll?
You could roll Arcana. You could also roll Nature. And that
But
would
nature
tell
applies to beasts.
well, that would tell you some of the traits you've studied from it.
The things I know about it, it changes shape. That's pretty much Arcana, so I'm going to do that. 4, I know nothing. Okay, good.
Oh yeah, we are getting bad rolls on the stuff that's important and good rolls and stuff that's.
Hey, career has a healthier outlook towards life. For what it matters.
I mean,
Oh,
Fair.
I was just I could do it on her rolls.
Jessica is saying nothing, simply studying the man.
All right.
Can I walk forward at this moment?
You can.
All right, I'm going to look over the man and say, all right, that's enough of that. We saw that little stunt that you pulled out there. What exactly are you?
Roll me he begins looking at you. Roll me a wisdom save, JD, for Tristan.
But based on how the dice have been going tonight, I am terrified.
3.
Well,
24.
24.
You feel a magic kind of fog around and poke inside of your mind. But you shrug it off simply.
I will look at him and say, "You will not try that again unless you want your head to be on the ground."
The
I'd
man.
like to roll an intimidation with that, even though I have ass for charisma. 7. Right.
7 or 7.
I'm about as terrifying as a pygmy owl.
Yeah. Nonetheless, the man still being able to read your surface thoughts knows that Tristan is not playing games. He isn't fearful of Tristan's threat, but he says, "Look, I contract kills, or I get contracts for one of my kin. They handle the kills. Your friend isn't looking for our services. He's looking for names. I don't have those names."
All right. And have you any idea where we might be able to procure services pertaining to what we are looking for?
He shakes his head and says, "No, I don't."
Very well. Then we are done here. Sprout, come on.
I trust this guy nada.
You can roll an insight check.
I'm gonna roll an insight check. God fucking damn it. Okay, look at that roll.
Wow.
Look at that roll for a minute.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay? I rolled a 1 on one side and then a 20 on the other.
Yep.
It's too bad you don't have advantage.
Wow.
Based on that, you trust this man implicitly.
I mean, I trust this man wholly. Like,
I believe everything you say.
all of a sudden it was like, nope, he's clear. He must just be really good at guessing what I want, and he obviously does not have what I want.
Urkus actually, not Urkus, Elias actually rolls an insight check, and as Tristan's stepping out to the door, Elias leans over to Tristan and whispers, "Hey, this looks like a public place of business or something, so don't go bashing his skull against the wall. But he's lying to you."
Duly noted.
Perhaps
it would be
as the
better
party's
to-
leaving, he is back in conversation with the man behind the counter.
Okay. Are there windows to this establishment?
There are not. There are piles of metal and lined on one side of the room, and there are metal ingots stacked on shelves on the other side of the room. Apprentices seem to be coming in and out of this room, taking as needed. Seems to be some sort of public use or storehouse.
Okay. All right. I'd like to pull Irkus aside.
I was following Tristan out because I 100% believed the guy. I don't know if I heard what Elias had to say or not.
Yeah, the DC to beat for his deception check was an 8. He rolled a 2. He rolled a 2.
No,
Yeah.
did I hear what I was following behind Tristan leaving?
No, I was
Did
just
I
saying.
hear what Elias said? Yeah, I don't know if I overheard Elias tell Tristan.
No, Elias, you could roll me a perception check if you wanted, but your passive perception would not pick it up.
Okay.
As you pull Urkus aside, the man walks around the counter to the door sitting next to the counter and walks into it.
Okay. Real quick, Irkus is a ranger, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he does have access to the spell Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was going to ask you to do. But we've already lost sight on the guy, so we'll need to go through that door. So let's go through that door.
Are you going to tell me the plan, or am I just going to continue walking outside?
I'm going to grab Brock before he heads outside and says, "I lied. We're not done with him."
Really? You seem like such a nice guy.
Do I know that he was trying to read my thoughts?
You do know that there was magic affecting your mind. You successfully saved against it.
Okay. Can I, at this point in time, roll an Arcana check to determine if I know that that was a read thoughts effect?
You can.
I know nothing because that
Really, guys?
Yes, you got
is,
it.
I got a 20. Okay, it's just on the other side of the.
Out of the die.
Yeah. All right, guys. So the last two rolls that are inside of Roll20 for the party, guys. Jordan rolled a nat 1 on his insight check, and which resulted in a 2. And Tristan rolled a 2 on his Arcana check, which resulted in a 2. If either of them had advantage, both of those would have been nat 20s. Y'all some beautiful mother flipper.
Speaking purely as a player at this point, I think we should quit while we're ahead.
Nonsense. We should continue on.
Speaking
Anyway,
as
never heard from again.
speaking as a
There-
character,
there-
I'm going to look at everybody in the group and say, "Come on, let's go. We can't lose them now."
This feels oddly familiar.
Doesn't it? I was
Yeah.
just-
I mean, I'm apparently not very wise today, so I'm all for just following this dude.
It's every time Elias is his quietest.
As you guys head towards the door, the man behind the counter says, "Wait! Stop! That's private space back there. The rest of this is public."
He didn't grab hold, so I say we open the door.
I'm going to nudge Elias and point towards the man who is talking to us right now.
Elias points and says, "Wait, we're with that guy who just went in." The man rolls an insight. Oh, hold on. Actually, I can roll Elias's
Deception.
deception right here because he's got a sheet.
He does have the sheet.
Did he pick up Mark's ranks in Ranger? Oh no, he has the Find Familiar spell, doesn't he? Yeah. Deception. There he goes. Oh, wow.
Way to go.
Oh,
Way to
okay.
Okay.
Well, the guy says, "Oh, well, he didn't mention anything about bringing guests down, but I suppose it's all right." The man looks very confused.
Thank
His
you.
programming tells him to do something else, but
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
you guys open the back room. Here, whereas in front there seem to be more fine lumps of metal, here it seems to be a collection of piles of rocks and a staircase leading downwards. The metal here seems ultra unrefined.
Oh, good. Staircase leading downwards.
Yeah, it's like your guys' best friend.
Is it? How well lit is it?
It's decently well lit. You guys can hear voices. Coming up from it.
Okay.
I say we stealthily head down the stairs.
All right. Before we do that, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay. While you guys talk about a plan of entrance into the room, you can roll once. Everybody can roll one set of actions into the chat, or buff yourselves. I'll read them when I get back. I'm gonna use the restroom right quick.
The only
Rolling.
thing I've got is Shield of Faith. So
I have heroism. I didn't mean to roll that. I meant to look at it.
Did it get rolled? I just see your name on it.
yeah, you didn't roll it. You're just
Okay.
showing the spell card to people.
Everybody.
Do you want? Who are you going to cast that on, Bub?
Who's the tankiest person in our party?
Me.
Yeah.
Me,
Who's the wimpiest person in our party?
not me.
I think it's me. Actually, I think the tankiest person is probably Jessica.
Is she
What's
with
her
us?
stats? Yeah, she's with us. Brandon
she's with
didn't
us.
get Brandon didn't give us her stats, so I have no idea what she has.
Well, she's plot important NPC, so I think as long as we just heal her if she goes down, it should be fine. But yeah, no, I would definitely put heroism on either yourself or Elias.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it on myself because Elias is going to be a range character, and I have a rapier, so I'm probably going to be close range. So I'd probably need the extra XP or the extra hit points.
Right.
I'm considering whether or not Tristan would cast Shield of Faith on you.
Oh no, I see heroism in the group chat for 1 minute. Who's it cast on?
Myself.
That's selfish buff.
We talked it over. Like the wimpiest person needs the most hit points.
Yeah, well, Shield of Faith has concentration, so.
All right. Did Urkus do anything?
I got nothing to cast really. I can't cast Hunter's Mark because he's already gone. So got nothing other than a stealth.
Yeah. Let me see what Elias has. Oh, you know what? He went Arcane Trickster. Yeah.
So
Oh,
does
he's
he
got.
have a spell that he could cast?
Huh? He does, but none that would help you guys right now.
Okay. In that case, as we proceed, how well lit did you say it was?
It is lit by torchlight, so it is dim light down here.
Okay. Let me check this real quick. Okay, it's not concentration. I'll cast light on my shield.
Okay. Please negate all your party stealth checks. No, I'm kidding. All right, so you guys continue walking down these stairs. You walk into a den of sorts. There's a few people playing cards, and a bunch of faces you don't recognize. They all turn to you, looking equally as dastardly as the other, and say, "Hey, you're not supposed to be down here."
We just came for a game of cards.
You can roll me a deception check.
Rolled a 19.
Oh my god.
Are you rolling right now, Brandon?
Actually, take that back. Take that back. I gotta check something real quick.
One of them looks at you and then says, "Wait a minute." You guys can go ahead and roll me initiative. Majority of the room starts charging at you. We are going to Group 2's battle grid.
So here's a question.
Yes.
Can we form a sufficient choke point at the door that we just walked into?
Better question. Is there another exit?
Yeah, the entranceway you walk through is about 6 feet wide. So it would just be only one person would be able to fit through at a time.
Is there a second exit in the room?
There does seem to be another door down here.
Okay.
We are going to screen share. Oh man, I have to remember. How did we do this before so that you guys couldn't see the stuff I was doing? Oh, you know what? I think I opened it in another tab. So let me roll 20 over here. Boom. Boom. And screen share over here.
Good.
So I see these symbols every I see these symbols every time, but what do they actually supposed to be? Sure
What
at all.
symbols?
Like you have me on the grid, but I can't tell what that's supposed to look like.
Oh, can you zoom in?
I can.
Yeah. You.
Oh, okay.
Your
It's the guy with the
token-
feather hat. Okay.
Yeah, your token was called Nobleman.
Gotcha.
I just picked tokens that resemble your guys' character class. If you want me to change them, I think you guys are able to search through the library.
I'm not perfectly okay. I just couldn't tell what it was at the beginning.
Use a dude who talks good about stuff.
I mean, they almost believe me.
Yeah, the two people near the entrance to the room rolled a 2 and a 21 respectively on their insight.
So one guy was like, "Hey, okay, let's play cards." The other guy's like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. All right, let's see. Let me draw out the room over here and see if it works on both screens.
If only he didn't get a 21.
Right.
We wouldn't even,
I got like 3 more points.
we wouldn't have a fight. We could just talk to these guys. Convince one of them to come with us. Give him that fee.
So, fun fact, because I rolled a 19, my die roll was an 11.
Oh.
I rolled an 11, guys.
Oh, wow.
And almost convinced the entire room that, oh, wait, we were just here to play cards.
Except for that one guy.
Except for that one guy.
Door at the perpendicular mark. And another door at the other perpendicular mark.
Don't forget about Jessica. She's here with us, too.
Yes. Hopefully I'm pretty sure I added a thing for her character on here. Tell me I did.
Okay. So I would like to be right here where you see that I am.
Okay.
I assume that this is the door that we have opened at this point.
Yes, where Elias is where the party walked in at.
Okay.
Okay. So then. Wait,
I came in through the door first. I'm just going to say that I was leading this party through the door.
Well, okay.
I posted in there. It's like, we're here to play cards.
Okay.
As they,
Tell me how that's working out for you.
Let's do.
As they rise up, do you think it would be possible for us to move back into the hallway so that we can form an actual sufficient choke point?
You can. However, as the hallway is only 6 feet wide, normally in like open combat, shooting around one of your party members wouldn't be too hard, as you could lean over and do it. Probably the person directly behind Tristan would be able to shoot, but you guys wouldn't be able to have all 3 of your range characters back there.
Fair enough.
And do it.
Are there tables in here?
There are. You guys just reminded me I didn't give Jessica a an icon. Yeah, so I was just
give it a
real
door.
quick.
Give it a door.
One more time.
Real quick, Brandon. I've got to get out at 10 o'clock because, as you know, Samurai Jack is back for its new season.
Yes.
Okay.
And it comes on at 10.
We could always get it set up and then finish up next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time on Group 2, as they die in a hole.
That's a lot of people in here.
We're gonna use that as Jessica for now. I will get it labeled and her stats and everything on it. She would most likely be following Tristan's lead. walking into this room, there were two people sitting next to the door as kind of guards. There was a table between them. Here we go.
Can't make a square.
It's a round table.
It's an oval table.
Yeah. And there were 3 more people in the back of the room talking. They all well, they look different, but they don't look like the man you met upstairs.
Well, we've already seen that guy shed his face, so
Exactly.
at this point, I'm willing to assume that none of these people are humans or humanoids.
All right. What was everybody's initiative?
I got a 5.
I got
Man.
a 19.
Tristan is straight killing it.
Actually, why he doesn't want to end it at 10 just to go watch Samurai Jack. He wants to end it at 10 so he can have a better roll next week.
Well, I mean, we can print screen the turn order, so
Well, no, I mean like for better rolls in general.
yeah,
Kind of shit.
End the day now while you're ahead.
yeah. Add turn.
But I mean, you can't blame him. Samurai Jack. Like,
Yeah.
Applause.
In the future, just because it's kind of a little lengthy setting up roll 20, I might just say we'll roll initiative at the top of the night. If you guys have combat, and then we'll just like go off of that, and I'll get it set up, before. So Tristan's at 5. Urkus is at let me pull up his sheet over here so I don't broadcast it to the world.
I know it's after Brock.
He doesn't roll
Yeah.
good.
And where is initiative on here? There we go. Is 12? I'm sorry, Elias is 12. Urkus is 20.
19.
Oh, 19?
Brock is 20.
Okay.
Brock is 20.
Congratulations. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Yeah, no, you probably would have felt better if you had. I would feel better if you had managed to convince all of them everything was fine.
Well, I mean, I would have too.
And the enemies rolled a 21.
Did they really?
All right, let's see. 21. And just like let us roll her initiative. Oh. Okay.
Well, she's going first.
Well, I
Go to
mean, I
Psycho.
just guess that's a thing. So you guys won initiative.
Some of us won initiative. I did not.
Yeah. And I will roll one additional time for your guys' friend.
Friend in quotes.
Yeah, he actually moves after Jessica, so cool. All right, so Jessica seems to have a spring in her step, even though she is wearing armor, and she says, "What's the plan?"
Attack the ones closest.
She moves. She moves over towards the ones closest.
weren't we just gonna leave it off there?
Oh, we could. It is 9:35. I have everybody's grid on a separate page, so your guys' grid will stay exactly the same.
Yeah. Why don't we just call it there so that we can start going into things like experience points?
Oh yeah, that is true. We do have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that
yeah.
Take a couple of minutes. So you can go ahead and move her back to where she was so that we can just pick up at the start of the combat.
Yeah, let me print screen this turn order so I remember. Boom.
You remember?
Yeah, because
Remember?
Group 3 is also going to have a very fun time. Are you guys on the combat page? Yeah, you are. Cool. Yeah, because I'm going to have to delete your guys' initiative for Group 3's because the turn order thing only keeps like everybody's going at the same time. But other than that, good session. You guys moved the story along pretty well. Sending Effie out to do your bidding for you. There are a couple ways that situation could have worked out better. There are a lot of ways it could have worked out worse. So good job on that. Basically, you guys had two options too for this fight of easy mode, do it with Effie, or hard mode, do it without her.
Yay!
Woo!
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Hard mode all the way.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun moving into next week. Otherwise, good session. Let me tally up what everybody got. I would say really good RP from everybody tonight in general. So I'm gonna say everybody gets inspiration just right off the bat. Otherwise, I think a flat line 250 across the board seems about reasonable. Bit happened. NPC had to do a lot of the hard work for you guys. But you guys got yourselves where you needed to be.
Alrighty.
Any significant moments you guys think I'm brushing over?
Not really, but I just want to go back to the cleric with disadvantage and -1 in stealth rolled higher than the ranger.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah, we've
had some
We did have
historically
good
bad rolls.
I somehow quietly clink away from the starting position, and the ranger
And-
trips over his own feet.
I somehow loudly stomp as we follow this man. And then quietly open a door while Brock trips when he comes in.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I imagine like kind of what happened in that scene was like Tristan got real focused and was like, I'm gonna do better this time. I'm gonna do better this time. And then Urkus was just like, oh, we're doing this again? Stepping into a thieves' den? Oh my god, we're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die. And Tristan's like, shut up! Shut up! I imagine that stealth check went down. Otherwise, that hits our 2 sessions for the month. I got Group 2's next playdate on the 1st of April.
That
Sounds right.
seems fine for me.
All right. Also, you guys are poo-poo faces, and that's going to be April Fool's Day. So next session's not even going to count.
Right.
Well, you're a butthead.
How do you guys feel about holiday themed sessions? Because I mean, I can, after of course the dreadful comedy, I can prepare a more lighthearted session if you'd like.
Well, there's about to be a festival coming up in the actual world, isn't there?
There is, but with the pace the groups are moving at, you guys aren't going to hit it anytime soon. You guys are ending the first leg of the first leg of your storyline. Um,
Brock, you got your
the
wedding in a few days.
yeah, the holidays are kind of like the bigger events of your storyline.
Oh, I don't need an April Fool's.
Okay.
thing. Mostly because after we get done with this fight, they're going to have to be serious again.
Okay. I will try and find you guys a new player before the first. Of course, when I find one, I'll message either you guys individually or stuff just to make sure the group jives with them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I wish I could have gotten Nate to join, but yeah, like I said, he's busy.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We're ending now. I'm gonna watch Iron Fist until like 3 a.m. Good heebie-jeebie.
I hear it's good, and then I hear some people complain.
Why is this white dude playing a white dude?
Why is this white dude playing a white dude who does my
Yeah.
cards?
Yeah.
It's like whatever. It's cool.
I'm just thinking it's gonna be like Daredevil, where season 1 is okay, but season 2 is gonna be much better.
You thought season 2 of Daredevil was better?
I liked season 2 a bit better, but it was like kind of mix and match.
Okay,
I'm hoping like
we're gonna get off the air.
yeah, we should.
Everybody, when the next session is. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out.